people of God in this place, lift up your voices in high praise, for he is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Come on, let's bless him, for he is the greatest. Now clap your hands like this.
Have you ever had a sock it to me cake? Well, you all, this year, 2020 did sock it to me. So I'm going to sock it back to 2020. Come on and join me. This is called a Hennessy sock it to me cake. Come on and see how it's made. Hey, you all, I love you all so much. And thank you for hanging in there with me. You all are the greatest team and family ever. All right, come on, let's make this cake. All right, ready to cut it? Let's see what we got. Oh my goodness. I should do a little piece or a big piece. I'll do a little piece. You guys. Oh my gosh. It just smells so good. Whew. Ooh. Look at that. Oh my gosh. You all. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I gotta taste it. That brown sugar butter. This is so good, you all. Look at this. I hope you try this out. If you like this, let me know. All right, Happy New Year's to everyone, and I'll see you soon. Love you guys. Peace. Are you ready to help me make this Hennessy sock it to me pound cake? Now, let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to put in here. The star of the show is Hennessy. We're going to use white sugar, brown sugar. We're going to use some cake flour, pecans, nutmeg, cinnamon, butter, a little baking powder. We're going to use heavy whipping cream. I have salt, almond extract, vanilla extract, and butter extract. Now in this cake, we're going to use 7 eggs. Now let's go ahead and get started with the batter. Now right here, I'm preparing the pecans. This is just butter. It's half a stick of butter and like half a cup of brown sugar. So I think I may have put too much brown sugar in it, but I'm just gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to roast these, and I'm gonna let them cool, and I'm gonna chop them up. This is gonna be a part of the sock it to me cake. It's already smelling delicious. Okay, so these pecans, they have been cooking, and I want to place these in the oven. The oven has preheated to 325, or is preheating to 325. Now these look wonderful. I'm going to bake these, I'll say, for 20 minutes. 10 minutes a piece. I'm going to do the first 10, and I'm going to pull them out and toss them, and then another 10, and just keep on making sure they're toasted. All right, let's get started on that batter. Okay, so I've sifted 3 cups of cake flour, and you all, I want to show you this right here. This is why it's important to sift your flour, because look at these little things. They're hard as rocks. You don't want that in your cake. All right, next step. I'm going to start combining this into our sugar and eggs. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start adding our extracts. Now, this is butter. I'm going to put, this is 1 tablespoon of butter. This is vanilla. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of vanilla. And then I'm going to put, let me see, this half, yes. I don't even know what I am. I'm going to put half tablespoon of almond, which is delicious. I'm going to put a little dab of salt. And now I'm going to combine it. Okay, so here we go. This is the mixture that's going to go in the middle of our sock it to me cake. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of cake mix in the bowl. And then we're going to put our cup of, 3/4 cups of brown sugar. Make sure your brown sugar is packed. And I'm going to add, let me see, some cinnamon. I'm just going to add, what's this? This is a teaspoon. I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. It's up to you. It's up to you how much you want. And I'm also going to add 1/4. Should I do 1/4? No, I'm just going to do a dash of nutmeg, because nutmeg can be really strong. Just a dash of nutmeg. All right, and also what I did was I melted a stick of butter and I let it cool down some. I'm going to mix this together. And what we're going to do is let this sit aside. I'm sorry. I think that cinnamon powder is getting in me. Let's see how this is looking. Mix this up. You know what? I'm going to add a little more cake mix in here because I want that consistency. Maybe that's about two more tablespoons. We'll get this mixed up. Now I want you to see, these are beautiful. These are the roasted pecans that we roasted. And this is going to be, look how beautiful they are. They're good. And they're so crunchy. Okay, now we're going to set this aside. Actually, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. And we're going to work, because this is going in the middle. And I want this to set a little bit. Okay, so let's start working on our Hennessy part of the cake. Now we're getting ready to make our Hennessy mixture. In my pot here, I have half a stick of butter and I have 1 cup of brown sugar. I'm going to use 1/2 cup, 1/2 cup of Hennessy. I'm going to mix this all together. But you know, if 1/2 cup isn't enough, use what you want to use. I'm not trying to make people fall out like I did last time with this cake. That Bailey's peach cobbler. Oh my God, that cobbler was so good. Okay, so I'm going to mix this up. I'm going to let this get all, wow, this smells so good. Let's make sure it's mixed up. It smells so good. Now, remember those little butter wrappers? I use that to just wipe around. This is a non-stick pan, and you can use spray, but it's probably best to just make sure you use what you're comfortable with. Now this is going to go on the bottom of our pie pan. Then we're going to start layering our pie pan. All right, so we're going to put our first layer. This is not always the easiest thing to do, so you just have to be patient, especially when you're filming, you all. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. So don't forget, this is a Hennessy Sock It To Me cake. Let me spread this around. And on the next layer, we're going to add our pecan swirl mixture with our cinnamon and our butter. Let me get it out the refrigerator. I'll be right back. Okay, now this is our mixture. I just took it out of the refrigerator, and this is going to go in the center of our cake, our Sock It To Me cake. It has the pecans, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the butter, and the cake mix. I'm going to spread this around. I'll finish this because I don't want to bore you. I don't like wasting your time. I'll finish this part and I'll be right back. So here we go. Now, this is the final part where we layer the top part of our cake. You have to be really patient making cakes with a whole lot of different steps to it, because it just takes a lot of time. I really hope this turns out really good for us. Ooh, I'm sorry. We'll see. The batter looks wonderful. Alright, you all, I'm going to finish putting this on and I'll be back. Okay, everybody, it's time to check on our cake. Oh, it smells so good. Here, get a better look. We're going to use our stick to see. Ooh, the cookie crumb came out clean. Let's try over here. Yay! Ooh, turn the oven off. Alright, you all, we're going to let this cool for a little while. I think I'm going to let this cool for about an hour because we have another step. I hope you're enjoying this. Look at those good old pecans over there. Look. I got something for you for those. Oh, you all, this smells so good. Okay, we'll be right back. Now let's go ahead and make this glaze. There's so many different ways to make glaze, but I have some boiling hot water here, and I have 2 cups of powdered sugar. Now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil, and you're going to have to kind of play with this until it gets to the consistency that you like. Now let's add our, oh, I'm sorry, this is hot water. So I'm going to add, I'll start off with 3. I'll start off with 3 tablespoons. This is boiling hot water. I'm going to stir this, and you really have to play with it until it's the consistency that you want. Now I want it to be kind of thick. You might not want it to be. So let me keep on adding until it gets 1, 2. Now the most important thing, now the hot water is what's going to help it to become, it's okay if it gets a little messy. That's what cooking and baking is all about. See how it's kind of melting a little bit? Let me get some of this down off the edges. Actually, I'm gonna use this spatula here, and you want to mash it and get all the lumps out. It's coming together. Like I was saying, everyone has their own way of making a glaze, but I've tried this so many times that this has become my favorite way. It's very important. 1, 2, that your water is hot. Now this type of glaze, it's going to get kind of hard on your cake, and you'll see what I mean. Now I'm going to add a dash of almond extract. This is looking good, and because this is a Hennessy, sock it to me, I'm going to add a splash of Hennessy. I'm not going to overdo it with that. All right, you all, I'm going to mix this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I want you to see, this is our glaze. I put it in a little bag here. Let me take this bag out, because this is going to be the bag that I use. See, I'm going to pour the icing or the glaze. I just want to seal it because I want it to be very neat. Good. All right, so let me cut one of the ends off here. You all, 2020 socked it to me and my family. We have lost so many loved ones, young and old. So going out, I said, I'm gonna make a sock it to me cake. So this is how you do it. Just pour it over. And it's okay if it's not perfect. It's going to run over the edges. And the good thing about this type of glaze, it hardens. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's what cooking is all about. It's okay. Just bring it down. And it's good to go over, and you can go over areas you think are not beautiful. Like some places might have little areas where you want to fix. But just keep on going over until you're pleased with all of the areas that are covered. Used all of it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to break some of this up over here so it can go. I don't want to mess it up. Maybe I'll leave it alone, because once I start messing with it, I'll mess it up. But this glaze, it's so delicious, you all. I'm going to use all of it. Definitely don't need any more on that side. It's so good. I think that's enough. I don't want to overdo it. Okay, that's enough. Now what I want to do is wash my hands off. I cut up some of these roasted pecans, and I want to sprinkle some on top. And this is going to be a really good treat. And I'll clean up everything before we serve it. Okay, I'm going to clean this up, and then I will be right back. I want to show you how pretty it looks. Let me clean up my mess.